Hello, everybody. I can't tell you how excited I am to be coming down to Melbourne next year and seeing how everybody's doing in their lean work, and very importantly, talking about how well are we doing at sustaining the gains we've made in our lean efforts. I believe that this is probably the most urgent topic in the entire universe of lean. There are some studies out there that have been published that point out that 7 out of 10 lean transformations continue past 3 years. I believe it's actually much worse than that. If you use the criteria of creating and maintaining a culture of continuous improvement, I believe less than half of the organizations that invest significant time and money in achieving that goal continue down that path 3 years after that they start. My work has indicated that there are four major elements that have to be considered in determining how sustainable your lean efforts are. The first is a sense of true north of the organization. Lean is a distributed problem-solving method. If you're going to ask people everywhere in the organization to identify and solve problems, we have to recognize that different teams are going to come up with different solutions, and there's a potential for those solutions to diverge over time. Having a strong sense of true north is the glue that holds the organization together, that enables these various teams to come up with solutions that may not be carbon copies of one another, but will be directionally consistent with who and what the organization is. The second is developing a leadership style, lean leadership behaviors that go along with the leader standard work that's consistent with a coaching leadership style required of a lean organization. Lean leadership is not about check and correct. It's not about management by objectives. It's about helping people identifying and solving problems. And there's no more important job that a leader has than to continuously build the problem-solving muscles of those that follow them. This skill set is critical for sustainability. The third are pretty fundamental, basic lean skill sets. Too many organizations isolate themselves to one or two lean tools that they have a particular affinity to and leave it at that. You won't be able to enable all of your people to put the solutions in place that they want to put in place if you limit your skill sets to only a few tools. You really have to be looking at the entire palette of the major lean tools and then helping people determine in each specific situation which of those tools best apply to that specific situation. And when they do apply, how do they apply in your environment in a way that makes sense for your organization? And then finally, the fourth is aligning the support systems in the organization with a lean thinking culture. Let's understand that organizations like human resources, finance, and IT all have a very strong influence in the culture of the organization. I especially want to talk about people systems and people value streams within those systems. A people value stream are all of the factors that people undergo and experience from the time they're recruited into the company and then onboarded, trained, they work within the organization, they spend their careers in the organization, evolving to various positions, and then ultimately separating. Each and every one of those phases brings in HR-related systems, policies, practices that have a very strong influence on the culture of the organization. You can say that you want a team-based, collaborative, problem-solving culture, but if people look around them and see that those that are getting the raises and the best jobs are really single contributor firefighters, you won't be able to fight those headwinds for very long and create and sustain a lean thinking organization. Let's understand that there's lots of different definitions of lean out there, but it really always boils down to this. It's about creating an organization where everybody, every day, everywhere, at every level, comes together in small teams and thinks about, how did we do yesterday? What problems did we have? What ideas do we have to do it better today? And how can we make that our standard work for tomorrow, which we can then improve upon the day after that? It's a never-ending process, which makes sustainability all that much more critical. I am so looking forward to coming down to Australia, understanding what's happening with the lean community down there. listening to your successes, what's working, and then let's spend some time talking about the things that maybe aren't working so well, because that's where the opportunity for learning exists. And I can't wait to come down there and learn with you. Hope to see you soon.